We're starting out laying down today, allowing back body to just kind of smoosh onto the floor for a little while. Finding some deep breath here. Big inhale, filling the whole belly, the rib cage, everything fills up with air. Big exhale. Press the air out, clean your lungs out. Let go of any of that tension that could be in your body. And let's take just a few more breaths like this. I won't have us here very long because it's really cold in here. And I'll start shaking if I spend too much longer just laying here. Notice where you might feel stuck or shallow, okay? Maybe you notice, wow, I tend to breathe more in my chest at this moment, not as much into the belly. Maybe you notice the opposite, but see if you can breathe equally into chest and belly. And although this might sound kind of silly, see if you can breathe equally into each nostril and each lung, okay? Intentionally filling each side of your chest up and outward. Okay, let's bring in a little movement, okay, to this laying down position. Bend your knees, take the feet out a bit wider than a yoga mat would be. And we'll start to drop the knees side to side. Windshield wipers. Windshield wipers are great because they start before we even really begin to get up to practice. We've already begun opening up and warming up the inner and outer hip, which is one of the places we're going to get stuck the most. And we've already begun to massage and twist and wring out the low back. And more often than not, you're going to get a few pops and adjustments here. And that's great. We're better aligned to get into the practice. Okay, stop with your knees up and then float your knees right over your hips. And you can just have a right angle at your knees, okay? And then if it's okay with your head and shoulders, with your hands on your thighs, peel your head and shoulders up off the mat. So you're activating your abdominis rectus here, and you'll feel it. It's nice and firm. Okay, make sure you're pressing your belly button down and keeping your neck long on all sides. Let's breathe here. So I want you to start to push your legs with your hands, but I want you to resist your hands with your legs at the same time. So push and resist and breathe. Where do you feel the strength for this movement? Where is it coming from? Okay, look for some big strength in your core, your abs for sure, but deeper than that. Pull your belly button in. Okay, now we're going to add some movement. Reach your hands up. Extend your right leg forward like you're trying to press the heel toward the front of the mat, and the left hand. Bring it back to center. Extend the left leg and the right arm. Okay, really reaching. Bring them back to center. I like to inhale as I extend. Let's keep going. And exhale to bring it back in. Notice how slow we're going. Inhale, extend. Exhale back to center. Keep it up. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, keep it going. See if you could lengthen that spine a little more. Lengthen the neck. Wrap the belly button further toward the ground. And I'm going to give you a spicy option. If this is fine, you can extend your arms behind you when you're not using them. Okay, 3 more times on each side. I'm really feeling this warmth. I hope you are too. 2 more times on each side. Just keep breathing. Don't let the breath stop. Okay, 1 more time on each side. Hold where you are. Okay, so you're reaching out through one arm and leg. Okay, the other arm and leg are reaching in a different direction, but see if you can extend all your arms and legs. So reach out, push out through the top heel, push out through the bottom heel, reach out through all the fingers and breathe. Pull that belly button in. We're switching sides here. Switch, hold, extend through all the arms and legs. Breathe. I know that core is shaking. That's okay. Let it shake. Pull the belly button down. 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Okay, rock that out. Really feeling the abs. Okay, I was cold. Now I'm warm. Amazing. Rock your low back out a little bit. When we engage the core, okay, and when we engage also the abs, it tends to help the low back let go. So hopefully feeling nice in the low back. Let's take the feet to the ground. Hands by the hips, and we'll bridge it a little bit. Okay, so think of inhaling as you lift your hips and exhaling as you lower. Okay. Some people like to do the opposite. Some people like to exhale up. That's fine, as long as you're breathing. Okay, feel this is kind of a nice back massage as you roll your spine up and down. And let's really exaggerate and kind of caricaturize that rolling up and down of the spine. Okay, we can think of length in the spine as we do this, as we roll one vertebra up at a time. And set one down at a time. So think of the tailbone always moving away from the top of the head. And then also, we want to think of that super control. So really placing one vertebra down, picking one up. How can we find that control? Next time the hips are up, let's hold up there for a little while. Okay, hold here. Let's play around with some things we can think about here. So first of all, we want that tennis ball between our knees, that imaginary tennis ball. So put a little spaciousness with engagement between your knees. They're trying to move inward. And as a matter of fact, you can feel that way about all the inside surfaces of your leg, the two parts of your legs that are facing each other. Think about all of that drawing inward, okay? And what if that inward drawing feeling wrapped all the way up through your pelvis up to your belly button? All right, what if we bend the elbows, press them into the floor, kind of like robot arms, and maybe even scoot your shoulder blades kind of satisfyingly underneath your heart. Okay, start to maybe engage your heels toward the back of your head. So, wow, really lighting up your shoulder, what are these? Really lighting up your hamstrings, your shoulders. Oh, so many parts. Okay, light up those hamstrings. Keep pulling your heels inward. We're just letting the back of the body get kind of warm here. Maybe one more big breath here in your bridge. And then when you come down, can you come down really slowly, please? Maybe take 3 or 4 breaths, lengthening the tailbone away from the head, dropping one of your vertebrae at a time. Okay. Once your hips land, take a few more windshield wipers. Okay, we warmed up the abs. We warmed up the hips a little bit, the back body. Let's get into the shoulders. Okay, tuck your hands behind your knees. And we'll take a few rocks and rolls. Come on up. Feel your spine and that little massage on the floor. In the morning when I'm stiff, I like to take my knees a little wider here. That helps. Okay, now try this. I have a challenge for you. See if you can rock yourself up to a boat. Try that a few times. Just balancing on your hip points. Rocking on that boat. And then we'll see if we can come up and maybe get onto our feet. You're going to have to cross your ankles when you come up and see if you can lift your hips. Try it a few more times. Down, come up through boat, cross your ankles. You have to reach your hands and your upper body forward a little bit. So maybe try it a couple more times. See if you can come up a little higher. A little higher. And next time, see if you can come all the way up to standing. Come on up. Ah. Okay, we're back at standing. We're all the way up. Let's take a big breath in here. Reach your arms up. Make a huge chest and lift it toward the ceiling. Okay, big exhale. We'll take it out to one side. So big side stretch. Hold that belly button in. Inhale up to center. Other side stretch. Keep it going. Back up to center. Exhale here, sit your hips down into a chair pose. So pulling that midline of the legs inward, lifting your heart. And inhale to standing. Exhale here, hinge at your hips and fold it all the way down. You might bend your knees because the legs aren't super warm. Come halfway up on your inhale, lengthening, kind of unfurling your spine forward. Then with your exhale, big fold. Okay, let's take a moment in this fold, allowing the knees to bend, maybe swaying, letting your upper body hang. This is a great time to shake your head. Okay, we spend most of the time compressing our vertebrae under the weight of our huge upper bodies. Okay, which we more or less hold correctly most of the time, okay? So it's great to kind of allow the weight of the upper body to just hang like this. Very therapeutic. Okay, palms are down. Inhale here, step it back to a plank. And we'll just be here in this plank breathing for a little while. We're going to get nice and warm. So if you want to drop your knees, that's completely fine. I'd say try to keep your legs so that they're in line with your upper body, pulling that belly button in towards your spine. But as long as your shoulders are over your wrists, you're in a plank. In your plank, push the floor. So really push the floor. Do not be shy with that upper body strength. And if you notice your spine rounding a little bit at the upper spine, okay, I tend to round up there, you can pull the heart forward between your thumbs, okay, and kind of neutralize that. Let's put a slight inward rotation between those elbows. Like the elbows are trying to move closer. And of course, that belly button is always wrapping in toward the spine. Keep breathing. We're almost done with our time for this plank. Just want to get it nice and warm. Okay. Sometimes it helps to kind of wiggle and kind of bounce your weight side to side. So that can be a nice distraction. But I want to invite you to take one more full breath in here. And exhale, press it back to a down dog. Okay, allow your armpits to open up toward the floor. Start to roll your shoulders here. And let's roll them back the other way. Okay. Walk out the heels. Know that your down dog doesn't have to be a textbook down dog at this moment because it's our first one. So the first one, we get kind of a lot of freedom, don't we? Maybe waggle your hips over to one side and waggle them over to the other side. All right, let's move a little bit, friends. Inhaling here, get your right leg up and out behind you. Exhale here, draw that knee forward towards your chin. Could you kiss your knee? Inhale, send the leg back. Okay, exhale, send it for the right elbow. So right knee to right elbow. You're going to tap the elbow Get as close as you can, okay? Inhaling here, send that leg back. Reaching out behind you. Exhaling here, right knee to left elbow. See if you can just get as close as you can. So slow. Inhaling here, right leg up. Send it very far. And exhale, step the right foot outside your right hand. Step the left foot forward outside the left hand. You're in a really big, low squat, okay? Inhaling here, see if you can press up from the floor. Come up from your squat, lift up tall. Exhale here, set back down into your squat. All the hands back to the floor. Right leg steps back. Left leg steps back. Back to your plank. Hold and breathe. Just like we did before, okay? Remember, you can drop the knees. Maybe circle yourself around in your plank to distract yourself. That's always fine. Maybe rocking the hips back and forth, experimenting with how changes in body weight affect your joints and your balance. Send the heart a little bit more forward. Push that floor. Okay, resist gravity, and gravity will resist you. Okay, one more big breath in. And exhale, press it back to down dog. Again, let's take a few more breaths here. Rocking it out. Roll the shoulders. Walk out the legs. Okay, second side. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Exhale here, left knee to your nose, to your chin. Okay, pull it in. Maybe kiss that knee. Inhale, send the left leg back. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, pull it into that left elbow. Get as close as you can. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, pull it across to the right. See if you can touch. Inhale, send it back. And exhale, drop the left foot outside your left hand. Drop the right foot outside your right hand. You're in a squat. Inhaling here all the way up. Exhaling here all the way down. Palms are down. Left foot steps back. Right foot steps back. Plank. Hold and breathe. Okay, we're just going to do one more round of plank. This is it. This is it for now. No promises though on the future of the practice, but we'll take a little plank break after this one. So stay with me. Push the floor. Roll the heart forward. Lift that belly button in. Push through the heels. Make your legs strong like tree trunks here, okay? Your upper body doesn't have to do all the work in plank. So let your lower body do some of the work. Push the floor down with those feet. One more big breath in here. And exhale, down dog. Walk this one out as well. Shoulders nice and warm. Okay, should be feeling good in the shoulders. And then from here, walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Again, bend your knees here. Let your head hang. Maybe join your hands behind you. Interlace those fingers and move the hands away from your head. Okay, should feel really nice in the fronts of the shoulders. Opening up the low back, outer hip. Okay, you might be feeling this differently. All right, palms are down. Let's take it back to a down dog. Let's get the right knee up. Okay, bend that right knee and start to circle out that right hip. So big movement, right hip. Okay, you can always bend that left knee if you like. Sometimes I find it kind of gives me a little bit more mobility to really circle this hip out. And let's rewind it. Okay, feel free to externally rotate the hip. Do what you got to do. Just kind of want to open it up right now. Okay, send that right leg up and out behind you. Big breath in. Exhale here, drop that right foot between your hands. Inhaling here, crescent lunge. So come on up to your crescent, okay? We'll make sure we activate the knees inward toward each other so that there's that drawing inward of the inner thighs, that midline engagement. And we'll have belly button wrapping in. Okay, lift your heart up to the ceiling and feel free to keep a gentle bend in the back knee at this point. Maybe interlace your fingers and point them at the back of the room. Nice breath here. Think of each breath going taller in your spine. And each exhale stronger as the legs pull inward. One more big breath in here. With your exhale, bring your hands down together in front of you. Take this left elbow to the outer right knee, and let's hold right here in this twist. So chances are you might be feeling a little wobbly here. So feel free to drop the back knee, get your bearings, and then come back in at any time, okay? Hold here. Feel this nice stretch on the outer right leg and the hip. Keep breathing. Okay, feel free to resist the elbow and knee a little bit. So as the left elbow presses in, the right knee presses out. And maybe it feels really nice and you want to open your arms wide here. Big open arms. Whew, big twist. Feel free to look up at the ceiling and really strengthen that back leg and maybe drop a little lower. One more big breath here. And then exhale, that right hand down on the outside of the right leg. You can use fingers. Left hand down on the inside of the left leg. You can also use fingers. Maybe you have some blocks, okay? But we're gonna rock the hips back and pull the right toes to point them at your right nose. And then back into that lunge. Rock the hips back, right toes point up. Back into the lunge. Let's take it a few more times. Rock it back. Send it in. Okay, you want to really feel the right hip moving back so that we're opening up the right hamstring and the right IT band. Okay, maybe your glute and outer hip are involved. We're all going to be a little different. But next time you pull back, hold and breathe here. Maybe walk your hands so they're under your shoulders and make a long spine. Pull the right hip back, back, back. One more big breath here. And let it go. We'll put that right foot back on the floor. Hands on the floor. I'll meet you in a down dog. Come on back. Walk it out. Notice how that right hip feels. Okay, let's take a little vinyasa. Inhaling here, heart forward. Feel free to skip the vinyasa, okay? And take a rest. Okay, we're in plank. Exhaling here, walk to your hands. And fold. Roll it up for your inhale. Lift your heart. Let's take another side bend. Exhale to one side. Inhale up. Other side, exhale. Inhale up. Okay, coming down into a chair on your exhale. Drop the hips. Lift your big heart. Back up on the inhale. Lift this big heart, maybe a little back extension. And exhale here, folding, hinging at your hips, all the way down. Roll it up on the inhale. Unfurl your spine forward. Think of looking that way. And exhale, roll it down into a nice fold. Palms are down here. We're inhaling it back to plank. And with your exhale, see if you could lower slowly down. So super, super, super slow. Take your time. Maybe your knees come down first. With your inhale, pull your heart forward, a little cobra. It might be little, okay? It might be big. But do use your strong arms and pull your heart forward. Exhale here. I'll meet you in a down dog. Let's take a few breaths here in down dog. Okay, maybe 5 or 6 long, slow ones. Maybe closing your eyes here. Feel your grip on the mat with your hands, but also the pull back in your feet. So your feet and your hands are repelled from each other right now, trying to rip the mat in half. The belly is so long on all the sides. And maybe you walk your hands out a little further if you feel like your spine could lengthen a little more. Okay, sometimes we tend to shorten. We sell ourselves short with the down dog, and we can lengthen a little bit. All right, friends, let's get the left knee up and start to circle it up. Okay. And feel free to lift the hip and get really big and ridiculous with these circles. I'm looking for what kind of hip mobility we've got right now. Kind of use it. Let's rewind. All right, and then inhale here. Extend your left leg extremely far out behind you. Exhale here, drop the foot between your hands. Coming up to a crescent lunge. Inhaling here, come on up. Okay, and we'll use this lunge to kind of get our legs super rocking and strong and warm. And we'll start wrapping everything in toward the midline. Okay, the 2 knees trying to draw up and in. Chest lifts, the belly button anchors in toward the spine. And then once you feel pretty settled in, see if maybe you can sink the hips a little deeper. Maybe interlace fingers. And breathe here, trying to point at the back of the room. Okay, find a little extra chest space that you can peel open. Maybe the armpit of the side that you're dominant in. That's where we tend to lock up a little. One more big breath in here. And with your exhale, we're transitioning to a twist. So bring your hands down in front, and we'll take the right elbow to the outer left knee and hold and hang out here. I will spin around to face you. So remember, you can drop the back knee and just kind of get your balance, because it's kind of a balancy posture. Okay, you can always bring it down, adjust, and then come back in. Okay, feel this nice twist rolling up from your belly button to the top of your head. So make your longest spine, please, when we twist. Make your longest neck also. And then I want you to experiment with pressing the left leg into the right elbow and vice versa, and putting the hands as close to your heart as you can. So the hands and the heart are trying to line up here. Big breath. Maybe you decide you like this so much you want to open your arms wide. Put the right fingers on the floor and deepen this twist. Maybe we can sink a little lower in the legs. One more big breath in here. And we're allowing all the hands to come down. Let's do fingertips. One hand on either side of the left leg. If you have blocks, awesome. Okay, and we'll pull the left hip back. Flex that left ankle. Toes point at your nose. And then send it forward. Okay, and if this is too much, guys, you can drop the back knee and do it like that. So always, you can drop a knee. Let's do this a few times. Pulling the left hip back. Really, really, really pull it back. And then let it come forward. Sink. Okay, a half split. We can call this an Ardha Hanumanasana and a lunge. So we're doing a little bit of opening in that left hamstring. Next time you pull back, hold here. Maybe walk your fingers so they're more under your shoulders. Attempt to lengthen your spine, although it's challenging. Pull back on that left hip. Get a little more spacious in the back of the leg. One more breath. And we're letting it go. Put that foot back on the floor, hands back on the floor. I'll meet you in a down dog. Okay, shake it out here. Notice how the back of that left leg feels. Okay, especially up into the glute. Nice opening. Okay, let's move. I'll take a little vinyasa here, so feel free to skip it and rest if you need to. Heart moves forward. Inhale for plank. Exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Roll it up for your inhale. Okay, we'll take another little side bend here. Big exhale to one side. Inhale back to center. Hopefully you're feeling the side bends open up a little bit. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, sit into a chair squat. Lift your heart. Pull your belly button in. Inhale to stand. Maybe a little tiny back bend here. And exhale to fold. Halfway up, inhale. Big fold, exhale. Okay, palms are down. Inhale to plank. Exhale all the way down. Inhale here, little cobra. Maybe a big cobra. Pull your heart forward. And exhale, down dog. 5 or 6 breaths here. Yogis, walking it out. Okay, stabilize here. Find that super intentional down dog. Kind of fierce, okay? Pushing the mat with your hands, pulling the mat with your feet. The kneecaps are trying to move up. Your elbows are trying to move in. Okay, let's play around a little bit with this down dog shape. So could you isolate this movement as much as possible and drop your left elbow to the floor and then pick it back up. And try the other side. Drop your right elbow to the floor. Try and isolate it to the best of your ability. And then pick it up. If this is too much, guys, drop your knees. You can just take a break and do this on your knees, okay? And I'm showing you what that might look like. But let's take a few more like this. Drop an elbow. Pick it up. And remember to breathe. Switch sides. Okay, notice what's going on in your shoulders. Your shoulders are getting used and stretched at the same time. So really using the shoulders here. Now try both. Try dropping both elbows without widening them and then picking them up. Drop them both. Pick them up. Maybe try that 2 or 3 more times. I know it's a lot of shoulder. Drop them both. Pick them up. One more time. Drop them both. And hold here. Okay. We're cultivating a dolphin posture. So go ahead and tiptoe as close as you like to your elbows. It'll be different for everyone. But as long as your elbows are about shoulder width and they're slightly squeezing inward as they push down, then you can walk your toes as close or as far as you like. Okay? And let's just breathe here a little bit in dolphin posture. You may choose to have your hands together or on the floor. It's really up to you. But perhaps you put a little extra weight in the left foot and reach up with the right leg. Hold and breathe. Okay, if it's too much with the right leg up, just put it down. If that right leg can come up, bend the knee. Point the right toes to the left, but press into that right elbow and pull the left hip back. A dolphin scorpion. Keep breathing. Pull the left hip back. Okay, great hip opener. Let's calmly put the right foot back on the ground and do the other side. I know it's a lot of shoulder. You can do it. Okay, come on up with the left leg. Push elbows down and together. creating a lot of space in your shoulders. Down and together with the elbows. Maybe that left knee starts to bend. We have to pull the right hip back as we send the left toe to the right. Dolphin scorpion on this side. So pull the right hip back, pull, 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 and push into the left elbow. Hold and breathe. One more breath in. And we're letting this up leg down. Go ahead and come to your knees here. We're going to come down to a child's pose. Whew. Oh, and let the shoulders rest. Breathe deeply into your powerful shoulders, which should be full of sensation right now. Feel that the neck is nice and long and the shoulders can just kind of melt off your back here. Nice work, yogis. Okay, come back up on your inhale, 2 hands and knees. Exhale here, tuck your toes, down dog. Inhaling here, right leg up and out behind. Exhaling here, drop the right foot between your hands. We'll drop the left heel here. Okay, come on up, warrior 1. This time, I want to join hands behind and get a nice stretch in the fronts of your shoulders. Join your hands behind you, move them away from your shoulders, and breathe. So in your warrior 1, let's make sure we're trying to square the hips toward the front of the mat, and we're pressing into that back foot. So press, press, press into the left heel. And remember to engage the right and left knee slightly in toward each other. Okay, maybe once you feel settled in, you can start to pull back on the right heel so that that hamstring gets a little bit more warm, okay? So start to pull that right heel back as you press into that left outer edge. One more big breath in here, yogis. And release your hands. Extend that front leg. Go ahead and grab onto your hips. Okay. Keeping those hips lined up with the front of the mat and keeping some nice press into the outer edge of that back foot. Okay. Continue to pull back on your right heel like it would move toward the back of the mat. And start to hinge at your hips, leaning your heart forward. And if you need to, by the way, at any time, you can step the back foot forward and shorten your stance, okay? You may need to shorten your stance. I think I'm going to shorten mine a little bit. So rock, right hip back. You're pulling the right hip back. You're sending the left hip forward, just like you're in warrior 1, okay? Eventually, your upper body will be parallel-ish with the floor. It's okay if it's a little more than parallel, more up. And you can take your hands to your right thigh, or your right shin, foot or floor, maybe block. But please avoid the knee. Please don't press down on the knee. So once you've got your fingers down, hold and breathe. You might have your hands on your leg, okay? Just something that you can grab onto. Think of lengthening the spine with each inhale, pulling back on the right hip with each exhale. Should be feeling some great opening on the back of the right leg, okay? Okay, so find a really great spot for your left hand to grip. Again, that could be the thigh. Left hand could be on your calf or your shin, foot, block, whatever. Put your left hand somewhere and reach up with your right hand. Okay, pushing into that left hand, we can roll the right shoulder open and create a great twist from this posture. And I'll spin around to face you here. Okay, revolved triangle pose. Pull back on the right hip again. Lengthen the top of the head away from your tailbone. Okay, strengthen the bottom shoulder so we're not just twisting the shoulder out of its joint. Strong legs. One more big breath in here, yogis. And bring it down with your exhale. We'll bend that right knee, all hands down, and I'll meet you in down dog. Walk it out. Whew. That right leg, it's kind of noodly. Okay, let's do the other side. We'll take a little vinyasa first, though, okay? So feel free to skip it. Inhaling here, heart forward, plank. Exhale. You might hop or step to your hands here and fold. Inhale to roll it up. Exhale. Just sit down into a really nice deep squat here. Inhale to stand. Lift your heart. Exhale, fold. Halfway up, inhale. Rock into your toes here. Big fold, exhale. Hug your legs. Palms are down. Maybe hop, maybe step back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin come down. Elbows in. Inhale, cobra, or maybe a little up dog because we're warmer. And exhale, maybe roll over your toes to down dog. Okay, walk it out a little bit here and notice how you're feeling. Okay, other side. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Exhaling here, left foot between your hands. Right heel is down. Warrior one. Inhaling, okay? Hands behind, opening up shoulders. So lift the heart. Big, big heart, smiles up and forward. Hips rolling to face off toward the front of the mat. So the left hip is moving back. The right hip is rolling forward. And we press into that right foot as we drag back on the left heel. So strong in the legs. The warmer we can get this hamstring in this left hamstring in this warrior posture, then the more it'll open up when we move into this pyramid posture after. Keep breathing. Maybe lift the heart a little more. Maybe sink a little more deeply into the legs if they're warm. And then as you're ready, let's extend the front leg, hands to hips, maybe shorten your stance a little bit, okay? And we'll extend that heart forward. Keeping this parallel with the front of the mat hip situation that we've cultivated. Okay, maybe the upper body comes sort of parallel-ish with the floor. And remember to keep a slight bend in your left knee. Okay, we don't ever want to lock that knee. Find somewhere to put your hands. And breathe. Pyramid posture. So we just really activated the back of the left leg in that lunge, in that warrior one. But here, we're lengthening it. So make sure it feels good. Pull back on the left hip and lengthen your spine. And then let's twist it. So find a great spot for your right hand, anywhere from the floor block up to your hip, as long as it's not the knee, and press down into that right hand. Push, push, push into the right hand, and reach up with the left. Big twist. Okay, hold here. I'll hang around to meet you. So keep extending that left hip back. Pull it back, pull it back. Make sure the bottom shoulder, the right shoulder is strong. It's not just getting ripped on. Okay, and the spine is long. Could you find some engagement between the legs here? Such a great, powerful twist. One more big breath in here. And we're letting it go. So bend into that left knee, all hands down. Down dog. Whew. Notice that left hip. All right. One last vinyasa, and we'll get down and rest. Inhaling here, heart moves forward for plank. Exhaling, hop or step to your hands and fold. Roll it up for your inhale. Sit down into a very deep squat on your exhale. Inhale to stand, lift your heart. Exhale to fold. Halfway up, inhale. Very deep fold on your exhale. Hold your legs. Palms are down. Inhale. Maybe step it or hop it back to plank. Exhale. Knees, chest, and chin come down. Okay. Inhaling here. Find that cobra or that up dog. Exhaling here. Down dog. Last down dog of the practice, friends. Just checking it out. Notice how different it is from the first one we did. Notice any extra spaciousness in your hips, legs, shoulders, back. And then go ahead and drop to your knees. Come on down. If you sit your hips out to one side, we can come to a comfy seat. And find here kind of a crisscross applesauce posture, just across legs. But make sure your right leg is in front. We'll just start with this leg, okay? And if this crisscross position is quite enough for you, with just the right shin in front of the left shin, then just hang out right here. Don't feel like you need to deepen this opening in your hips anymore. Just breathe. But if you want a little more opening, you can take the right ankle on top of the left knee and scooch the left ankle forward so it's under the right knee. So your legs would be stacked here. And then start to engage the legs toward each other. So even if they don't touch or even if they don't fold in toward each other, give them some engagement and they will start to open up. Just a little bit of engagement does a lot, okay? So the knees are moving, legs are trying to squeeze toward each other. We'll walk the left fingers out to the left. Reach that right arm up and over. We'll take a few breaths here, lengthening spine on all sides. Pressing the legs toward each other. Make sure your ankles are flexed, okay? Really flex them. And we'll drop the right fingers to the floor. See if you can walk them as far out as you can get as you ground that right hip. Great stretch for all along your back body. Okay, pretend there's a circle drawn around you and your hands are on it. Walk your hands along the circle until they're in front of you. And then you can kind of use your fingers out here to push the floor and ground your hips that much more firmly. So do that. Okay, push those hips down. Feel the low back opening. Continue to try to move the legs toward each other. And maybe today you come down to your elbows. Maybe not today. Okay, just be sensitive with that. And we'll start to continue the hands over to the right side of the circle. Now take them as far out as you like, okay? You can start to even walk them behind you if you like. Big stretch. And we'll finish this off by reaching that left hand up overhead and out to the right. Grounding those hips and squeezing the legs in toward each other. As you're ready, bring it back up to center and we'll just switch sides. We'll do the other side. So this time you'll start with your left shin in front, just crisscrossed here. If that's enough, stay. If this is not enough, stack ankles and knees. Okay, left ankle is on top of right knee. Okay, stacked on the bottom as well. The legs are trying to squeeze together. And we'll start by having this right hand all the way out to the right. Left arm reaching overhead. Lengthen the spine, hips are still heavy. And maybe the right fingers are actually pressing into the floor so you can make that left hip heavy. Left fingers come to the floor, get a great stretch along the left side. Walk the hands on the circle to the front of the circle. Hold here. Make the neck long. Keep trying to press the legs toward each other. And walk the hands to the left side of the circle. Breathe. Walk them out really far. And we'll finish by reaching that right hand overhead. And really maybe using their left fingertips to press into the floor so we can really ground that right outer hip. As you're ready, bring it back up and into center. And then find an easy crossing of your legs, okay? Maybe pulling one heel very close in towards your hips. Kind of flipping the bottom of the foot up so that the hip externally rotates. And you can do the same with the other. Just stack it in close there. I like this posture, okay? It just feels nice. Hips are soft and externally rotating. The spine is free to kind of rise up. But feel free to choose your favorite seat. Close your eyes. Just breathe here. Allow your body and your breath and your mind to quiet down, to settle down. With each breath, feel that your spine gets a little longer, rising up out of your hips. With your exhales, the tailbone drops a little more heavily toward the earth. As you inhale, the top of the head rises, and just keep following your breath. Soft, effortless breath. With a soft, effortless body. And a soft, effortless mind. Beautiful yogis, please keep resting like this for as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me.